Chris, could you fill us in on the China project? And I'm particularly interested to hear about how labor-intensive it is to harvest these herbs. I mean, that's quite a picture.
Sure. I recently conducted a kind of a pan-China survey of some important medicinal plants. Rhodiola rosea, goji berry, schizandra, and eleuthero, which used to be known as Siberian ginseng.
That's right.
And I was in some spectacularly remote areas. In fact, the Tian Shan mountain range, which is west of Mongolia, right up against Kazakhstan, was like breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, spectacular. And that's where primarily Uyghur people, who are sort of descendant of the Turks, harvest Rhodiola rosea, which I think is one of the most beneficial of all the natural medicines that we have available to us. But speaking specifically to the difficulty of this work, anybody who has worked in agriculture, whether they've picked apples or strawberries or planted cotton or broccoli or you name it, knows agricultural work is very, very hard. When people are working with medicinal plants, when they're either harvesting them in the wild or they're cultivating them and then harvesting them, you know, not in the wild, it is extremely labor intensive.
Yes.
And I'm one of the people that believes that the prices of all of the botanicals should go way up.
Oh,
not
really?
to the suppliers,
Okay.
but to the people who work in the field. See, you got 3 billion people in the world today living on less than $2 a day. You get over 1 billion people in the world living on less than $1 a day, some of whom might be living on a nickel a day. I mean, it's not like a buck is where it ends. Many of these people work in agriculture. Many of these people work in herbs and spices. We really need to get through the mentality of driving everybody down on price, because all it does is keep people in poverty. And that's not healing. There's no
it's
healing
not.
if you and I get relief for, let's say, a sinus problem, but somebody who provided the herb can't feed their family or buy shoes. There's no healing happening there. That's just symptomatic relief. So it's very, very difficult labor acquiring these things. And maybe one of the surprises is that a lot of the people that I encounter, whether it's India, China, the South Pacific, the Middle East, Africa, whatever, people who work with these plants often really love doing the work. They're proud of this work.
Really?
You know, when you
so
meet,
they're in touch with the earth, kind of?
It's part of their tradition. It's part of their heritage.
Okay.
You know, when I work with people in the South Pacific, let's say, who cultivate kava, they're very they're proud of kava. This is an important thing for them.
That's very touching.
Yeah, the Peruvians in the Andes, they're proud of maca. This is, they like to be known as, I'm a maca farmer. They're just real proud because it goes back multi-generationally.
Okay.
And so often they like the work. Even work that we would find overly difficult, too physically hard, or repetitious, they often like it quite a bit. But they deserve to do better from an economic standpoint.
Yes.
And so our whole model of, drive the price, the sort of Walmart way of existing, we can always get it cheaper, we can always bring the price down, that's faulty thinking. That's short-term thinking. How do you make sure that these people can thrive and prosper,
Yes.
that their families can be healthy, that they can help to protect the natural environment and keep producing these crops? That suggests to me taking better care of them, providing a better wage, and making sure that everybody makes out in this equation of medicinal plant trade.
And that's it. That's the key word. It's honorable trade.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, there are a lot of dishonorable people in the business, as there are in every business.
Right.
But, you just have to fight that.
But the trade aspect of it, especially if it's fair, can keep the culture and the history intact. Plus provide us with products that are healing.
If trade is accomplished correctly, you can achieve what's become known as the triple bottom line. You can provide a health benefit to the end user, you can help to protect the natural environment, and you can help to preserve people who live in traditional cultures and help them to flourish. So 3 different benefits. It's very easy to do. You know, this isn't rocket science. This doesn't take like endless conferences and, you know, people with sort of algorithmic charts to, I mean, this is very simple. Okay, you're making $1 a day, you really should be making a whole heck of a lot more than that. That's simple. Anybody can figure this out.